20s, he worked a factory job where in just 2 weeks he had made enough to pay for college, and in a
And see, the conversation about the male loneliness epidemic exists because men like this, when talking about the male loneliness epidemic, jump to a man's income. I'm sorry to inform you, there are so many men who don't have jobs that have relationships. Men aren't single because they don't make enough money. Men are single because they don't have emotional intelligence. The male loneliness epidemic exists because when talking about the male loneliness epidemic, men like you like to intellectualize it and jump to income. You know how many men who aren't stereotypically attractive that I see in relationships? A lot. Do you know how many men I see in relationships who don't have a six-figure job? A lot. The average job isn't a six-figure earner. Do you know what I see over and over again? Men cheating. Men unable to talk about their emotions. Men bottling everything up. Men not having friends that they can go to in times of need. There's a whole trend on this app of women going up to their partners and saying, and the men being like, oh, you know, John's getting a divorce. And she's like, oh my God, what happened? And he's like, I don't know, but he's getting a divorce. He might have mentioned something about cheating, but I'm not sure. And the girl's like, oh, he cheated or she cheated? He goes, I don't know. Because men don't have deep, meaningful relationships with other men. You know, one time I had a guy comment that he doesn't talk to his friends about his relationship problems because in doing so, if they saw him as weak, that his friends might try and pursue his girlfriend. Brother in Christ, that is not your friend. Most men explain that they feel lonely, and you're like, well, you have friends around you. You have people around you. Yeah, but they don't tell their friends anything. There's no emotional intelligence. There's no emotional depth. Women talk about the fact that they're okay being alone. It's because yesterday I went and sat on a paddleboard with my friend for 2 hours and we caught up on everything that has been happening in our life. Boys, jobs, everything, other friendships, emotional depth. She can tell you the shit that happened in her childhood. She can tell you the shit that happened in my life. The guy can't tell you why his friend's getting divorced. All of you sit here and you have round table conversation. This changed my view 180%. Back then, men used to make more money. Back then, women didn't make any money. Women didn't have jobs. Women couldn't get credit. So the only thing they had that they could care about is a man having a job, a man being able to afford a house. And that's where we come into the conversation about men being the original receivers of DEI. Because they took everyone else out of the workplace so that they could be the only ones that succeeded. And it set them up to get a wife. It set them up to get a family. Because women had no choice. They had to get married. Now women don't need men for that. What do they need men for? Intimacy. But not just physical intimacy. You want a partner, someone who you can talk to, someone who you can relate to, someone you can tell I like this movie and then not laugh at it. Not go on a 3-week tirade about how they hate everything you love. Men who don't watch your content, assume characteristics of your personality to trick you into being in a relationship with them to get you pregnant and then cheat at you at the 4-month mark. This video is a perfect example. Your video is a perfect example of what leads to the male loneliness epidemic. All roads lead back to money for you guys.